are you? My name's Aspen.
Nice to meet you. I'm Trisha.
Hello.
How are things going today?
Good. Here is my cover letter and resume.
Thank you. I was able to look through your resume a little bit to
Thank
prepare
you.
for this, so I appreciate you bringing it with you. So this is your first time looking for a job, is
Yes,
that right?
it is.
Yes, it can be very, very nerve-wracking,
Yes,
I'm
a
sure.
little bit. Yeah.
Well, and you're looking for an internship experience kind of over the summer,
Yes,
is that
definitely.
correct? Because you just graduated high school?
Just graduated high school and
Okay, very
went
nice.
to college, so.
Yes, and went to Blue Springs.
Mhm.
Took it, let's see, you did have a crime scene investigation class.
Yes, I
And
did.
how did you like that?
I thought it was very interesting. I always thought that I wanted to be more of a crime scene investigator, but that class made me realize I kind of want to be more in the detective sphere in the
Okay,
investigating. So.
that's good. And it's very good to expose because sometimes what we think we want is not really how the job
Definitely.
turns out to be.
Yes.
So have you had any other experience in that area yet?
Not yet.
Okay. And was a tennis player. That's
Yes.
great.
Mhm.
All right. Did you grow up in Blue Springs?
I was in Independence for a little while, and then mainly most of my life was in Blue Springs.
Okay, but in that area. Okay, great. Well, we do work with students and kind of people fresh out of school and internships to expose you and kind of we can learn more about you, you can learn more about us. There are many opportunities in the detective field, crime scene, lab work, all of those types of things. So I want to find out a little bit more about you and what you enjoy and kind of what would you consider your strengths or things that you like to do? Because typically, and especially starting out, those will be the things that will help you be more successful in your career.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty meticulous in my work, and so I think an attention to detail would really help in the investigation of cases and solving them eventually.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's one of my big strengths.
Okay, yeah. And you like working with those detail type things?
Yes,
okay.
exactly, and looking over stuff.
Okay. Yes, it becomes very, very important, can make or break things sometimes. So are you willing to look at different areas too? Like, for instance, out in the field and see what those people experience?
Yes, definitely. In an internship, I'd want to maybe go along on rides to see what needs to be done at a crime scene, and also go back and see what happens in the lab or when people talk to the family of the victim and stuff like that.
Okay. We don't, with internships, typically you wouldn't have any one-on-one interaction with families and or suspects,
Okay, yeah.
but certainly we have things to set up to observe some of those interviews
that would
because
be
you can.
wonderful, yeah.
Okay. And so how do you work under pressure or in kind of situations that maybe you don't feel comfortable because, you may be exposed to family situation which might be very different than how you grew up.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be unsettling sometimes. So how do you deal with those kinds of things under pressure or in situations that you're maybe not very comfortable with?
Yeah, that makes sense. In situations under pressure, I just kind of had them going into the mentality of it kind of is what it is, so you gotta need to deal with it. So doing, gotta make sure that I ask other people for advice and who maybe have gone through this before.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And do you work well as a team? Have you had, because in our field it is all team, and we have to work with people from the legal side to, people in the investigative, the policemen on the streets, the lab people who need what they need. So it really is a team environment.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had much experience in high school? I know it's hard to kind of get that, but have you had much team experience?
Well, for my tennis team, I've been on a team, and I always try to make everyone work together because that's the best environment to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
I think is if everyone's respectful of each other, and in like group work like this, it's always good to have more people because there's so many different perspectives on an issue that you can see that maybe you would have never thought about before. So.
Mm-hmm. And communication is a big part of that. Do you feel like you would be able to communicate with all different types of people too in areas and are not, we need someone that can go speak with anyone and convey the information and not be intimidated by people?
Yes, definitely. I think I'm pretty good at that. There was so many, for an example, on my tennis team, there's so many different types of personalities that I try to make friends with everyone on the team and get them to be more involved with each other. So.
Okay, great. And so at the end of this internship, before you get to go to college, and that's very exciting, how would you view your experience as a success? Because we definitely want internships to be successful, both for us and for you. We want to obviously hire good people who would come back, and so we want this to be a good experience. And also and part of that being successful is making sure that we expose you to all the different areas so that people who want to come into this field would be able to pick the right area. So so we try to do that. So how, from your perspective, would you define the internship as a success?
I would define the internship as a success by just personally me seeing actually what it's like, because you hear stories or you see stuff on TV and that's not usually what it's about. So to actually see what each field does, I think would be really valuable. And getting to watch people in action doing their job in the field and with suspects and in the lab would be very valuable to me. So.
Okay, so you'd like to see all of those areas. Well, that's good. Well, I really appreciate your time today and learning more a little bit about you. And we will certainly look over your stuff. And we have some other people to interview as well. Mm-hmm. And we will be following up. We'll be getting back with people probably in a couple weeks.
Okay.
To let you know. So if you don't hear from us, certainly reach back out. But you should hear something back in the next couple weeks. So do you have any questions for me?
No, I think that's good. You have all my information on the resume and cover letter, so we should be good.
All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for coming in.
Nice to meet you.
Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.